Queen Elizabeth, your cousin Mary has returned to take up her throne in Scotland.
The Queen!
My dear cousin Elizabeth, I hope we might meet in person, that I might embrace you. But ruling side by side, we must do so in harmony, not through a treaty drafted by men lesser than ourselves.
My dear cousin, let our nations cherish each other as we would, two kingdoms united.
Well, the story of Mary, Queen of Scots, has been told many, many times in movies over the years. Of course, this story set in the 16th century has been fodder for the last 500 years in terms of history and the way it's been told. It has always had a license for dramatic effect in the movies, beginning in 1936 when Katharine Hepburn did it in Mary, Queen of Scotland. Then there was the 1971 version, very notable, with Vanessa Redgrave and Glenda Jackson, Mary, Queen of Scots. Also, Elizabeth the Golden Age, which was the second time around for Cate Blanchett. This was a fight to the finish here between Elizabeth and Mary, Queen of Scots.
With heaven's blessing, we bring an heir to Scotland and to England.
It is a clear provocation.
We must make war in Scotland.
Mary was very young. At 16, she was the Queen of France. And then at 18, she became a widow. And she went back to Scotland as it had merged with England here during the war. And then she and Elizabeth I, played by Margot Robbie, really duked it out here for who is going to reign over this kingdom. They both felt they had a unique claim on it, rightly so. Now, Saoirse Ronan plays Mary with a certain fierceness I haven't seen in this role before on screen, and I think she's the most age-appropriate Mary Stuart I've ever seen here. And it really is a different side of her, certainly from her most recent Oscar-nominated work in Lady Bird last year. And she's been nominated already 3 times for Oscars, and I wouldn't be shocked to see her up again for this role. She really digs into it. You can see that she's had a passion to play this role. Margot Robbie is more in a supporting role here. She's not in it as much as Mary, Queen of Scots here, who is obviously the title role and has more to do. But Margot Robbie really makes an impression here as Elizabeth I, particularly when at 29 years old, she contracts smallpox and has all kinds of things all over her face. It is a kind of a strange sight to see Margot Robbie with this level of makeup on, and the makeup and hair people have done a magnificent job with this movie, as has everybody, as you might expect in this kind of film, a costume film with all that goes with that. The real crux of this, though, is the rivalry that happens here when Mary returns to Scotland and tries to go for the crown. Now, the men here are all, as they are in another recent film, The Favorite, kind of scourgers. They're really not that nice. And Joe Alwyn, who's also in The Favorite, is also in this as Lord Dudley. We have Jack Lowden, who played Mary's husband, and he's not exactly a prime example of a role model. But this movie really centers around the women, and it's so nice this season with The Favorite, Mary, Queen of Scots, and other films to see really strong female roles coming to the fore on the screen.
Our hatred is precisely what they hope for. I know your heart has more within it than the men who counsel you.
You would do well to watch your words.
I will not be scolded by my inferior.
You're inferior.
Now, I went into this film thinking, oh God, another costume drama on Mary, Queen of Scots. I was really not looking forward to it, but I think the director, and it is a female director making her film debut as a director. She has never even done a short before. That's Josie Rourke. She has made this beautifully cinematic here from Beau Willimon's script. Now, Beau Willimon is the man responsible for House of Cards, so he knows intrigue in a different sort of palace there at the White House. Beau Willimon knows how to make this accessible for a modern audience, knows how to relate it to what we're going through today, particularly for women and the power struggle, dealing with a world where men have always held on to power. This is a real history lesson, but one told in a very highly entertaining manner. I really think they've done a terrific job with Mary, Queen of Scots. It's an entertaining and highly engaging movie. Now, whether it gets all of its history right, I have no idea, but I really like what they put on the screen. So I'll buy it, and I say, go.